Welcome to the Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel, and this week we are again coming to you from the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce headquarters right here on Main Street, New London, the premier business organization for our region and provider of collaterals for visitors and locals alike. Executive Director Ashley Rowley will join me to discuss their upcoming events and the great value of a chamber membership. Greg Berger will show us their work in progress, Tray It Forward. Carly Bascom will introduce us to NESA's new hiking program. And we'll close the show with Bruce McCloy for a briefing on an international boat race for our Lake Sunapee this summer. But first, a few words from the good supporters that make your Yankee Chronicle possible. We'll be right back.
This program is supported by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Their full-service model offers oil delivery, propane, motor fuels with design, installation, service, and maintenance of all types of oil, gas, and alternative energy systems, as well as air conditioning, water conditioning systems, and backup generators. Their highly trained and friendly staff will assist you throughout the process of buying, installing, and servicing a full line of energy products. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the country press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications. Main Street Bookends of Warner, for books, toys, games, cards, gifts, and a gallery of local art. Main Street Bookends of Warner. The Innertown Record, your weekly hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge Sunapee Sunshine region of New Hampshire. The Innertown Record.
The American Red Cross blood supply is at historically low levels this winter, and we're facing a dangerous situation. Hospitals and patients are counting on donors to get the blood they need. Make a life-saving appointment today. Visit redcrossblood.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS.
This program is supported by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the country press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle, coming to you from the headquarters of the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce here on Main Street in New London. And I'm now joined by the face of the chamber, Ashley Rowley, who's the executive director here. Yeah, how about that?
I know, huh? It's crazy. The face of the chamber.
Yeah.
And headquarters. I love how you call it that. It's really wonderful.
I know. I think you need like a sign that says this is the headquarters.
We are working on a sign.
Good.
We are working on a sign for the front. I never really thought of that when I was here, that there's no actual sign out front that says this is the chamber office.
Just information booth?
Information. That's all it says. So
which
we're
is true.
Making that change. So this summer you'll see a sign out front.
That's exciting. So there's a lot happening here.
Oh, of course.
You know, being out of COVID, there's events being planned, but also within the chamber, you've seen a lot of cool updates.
Absolutely. I mean, I think for a lot of folks, COVID has been obviously a not good couple of years.
Of course.
However, it gave a lot of organizations time to kind of regroup and think about, you know, what are our bylaws and what are our goals and what's our overall mission. And obviously doing business in a post-pandemic world is a much different situation than before. So we're kind of offering as many services as we can to our members.
Good.
But with that, we've seen a lot of new change in our board of directors. We've seen a lot of new members popping in, especially the past few months. So we have 3 new board of directors, Brianna Critch of Claremont Savings Bank, Nick Hobart of Benjamin F. Edwards, Tim Mathewson of Millennial Moving Solutions. Julia Whitney actually has replaced Kathleen Kennedy as our kind of New London Hospital board person. So we're excited because Julia's got a great background in marketing, and she just it's nice to bring new people to the board and get new energy. energy, new ideas,
For sure.
New skills. It's really great to see new skills too. So we're excited to see what the next few years kind of brings.
It's exciting.
It is.
And with that, you're also bringing back business after hours,
Oh, for
which
sure, yes.
is probably, like, for the chamber, probably one of the saddest things that had to stop during
I would
COVID.
say absolutely. I mean, we would get 20 to 30 people solid for each of our business after hours. And honestly, it's one of those things that as a not affiliated with the chamber, I was like, gosh, who would want to do that? That seems so boring.
Right.
But then when I got here, I was like, oh my gosh, this is really fun.
I know, and you
It's
realize
really
how much
great.
people miss it.
And people really love that opportunity. It's just a couple hours right after you get out of work, and people just love to go over, grab a glass of wine,
Yep.
have a snack,
Yep.
chat with somebody they haven't seen in a while. And honestly, the better part of it for me is seeing new businesses kind of featured. So for us, we just had Harding Hill Farm was our April business after hour.
Great.
And they're great. They're awesome. They do lots of different work, not only with their forestry tree maintenance program, but also just maple syrup sales
know.
and all that kind of stuff. So it was great for us to get an insider look as to what they do.
Great.
Now our May business after hours is going to be the 121 shop in Bradford, which is a
Ooh.
brand new little boutique shop that has a lot of different unique finds. So we're
Amazing.
really excited to kind of take some of our new members, of which we have about 15 new members over the past 3 months.
Wow.
So, I mean, that in and of itself is incredible. I mean, we're a small chamber in regards to the larger picture of
Sure.
the Granite State. We've got probably 230 members any given time, and the fact that we've got 15 new ones just kind of right out of the woodwork for this new year is incredible.
And it's a good thing to remind people watching a new business, maybe you're not part of it, to say it's not just the chamber members that have always been. Come and
Correct.
join, and also stay up to date on who's joining.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a very cyclical, changing organization.
Really
it's not
cool.
really, and I think that's important for people to know about chambers in general.
Yeah.
is we are definitely taking on a very different kind of place in the local economies than we've had before.
Really?
We are starting a lot of these conversations about destination marketing organizations and state tourism, and there's just a lot more to the conversation than just a one town or two town small chamber where we have a few businesses who all coordinate and network together.
Sure.
It's much larger than that.
Sure.
now.
An exciting thing coming up in May, you're actually hosting a pretty big conference.
We are. So the New Hampshire Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives.
Wow.
That's a lot of words. But we are one of the co-hosts for the conference,
Wow.
which means the executive directors across the Granite State will be coming to our neck of the woods.
Cool.
It's a couple-day conference, so it's lots of sessions and panelists and talks about what we as chambers can do to help our local economies. And then, of course, it wouldn't be complete if we didn't ride the boat.
Of course.
so hopefully, cross our fingers, all
Yep.
works well for the new boat.
Yep.
And then we'll have kind of a networking cruise where all of the big movers and shakers across the state are able to come to the lake and enjoy it and learn about why we love it here.
Amazing. I love how the boat has become the name, and everyone just understands
I think
that.
they're going to christen it that.
I
I'm
think
not
you
gonna lie.
should, because it's
The
so
boat.
there's so many boats in the area, but everyone's just saying, "Have you seen the boat?"
boat.
And we all know what it means. So
Yep,
that's fantastic.
exactly.
Ashley Rowley, it's always a pleasure to come in here. There's so much going on at the chamber.
There is.
And check out the website and Facebook for updates.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. We try to keep that as up to date as possible. So.
I see you on there, so we appreciate it. Thank you so much, and thank
You're
you for
welcome.
hosting.
Oh,
We
of course,
appreciate
absolutely.
it. Thank
Thank
you. When we return, we'll head up the street to Spring Ledge Farm to hear about the third year of the Tray It Forward initiative by Feed Kearsarge. But first, these words from the good folks that make our communities the great place they are, the businesses that support us, and the organizations you use and love.
Just gonna hang out.
If any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you. For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
This program is supported by HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Their full-service model offers oil delivery, propane, motor fuels with design, installation, service, and maintenance of all types of oil, gas, and alternative energy systems, as well as air conditioning, water conditioning systems, and backup generators. Their highly trained and friendly staff will assist you throughout the process of buying, installing, and servicing a full line of energy products. HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm Abby Peel. Give a man a fish and he eats a meal. Teach a man to fish and he eats forever. Let's learn about the local version of this parable.
Tray It Forward is a program that was started at the beginning of the pandemic, so March of 2020, and some local folks got together and we started seeing what we could do to help people grow their own food. So between Spring Ledge and Colby Sawyer College and Kearsarge Neighborhood Partners, Kearsarge Food Hub, those were the four major people who got together, and we brainstormed and thought, why not provide a tray of seedlings of various vegetables for people in need to take home and plant, and we would provide some guidance for the season as well to try and create more successful gardeners who could grow their own food. So the tray that we have is a tray of 24 seedlings, mostly vegetables, everything from beans, lettuce, to zucchinis. This year we're even doing a seed potato. And it's things that we know grow well around here, given our experience here at the farm and talking with other home gardeners. You know, things that will make it through the season and be fruitful and are fairly easy to take care of. And also will fit into a small space, because a lot of people might not have a huge backyard to be able to do this with. So we chose 24 different varieties. We also have a smaller 12 variety garden that's more suitable to container gardens, and if people have any kind of container, we can help them figure out how to grow vegetables in those containers. And over the past 2 years, this is the third year we've been doing it, over the past 2 years we've gotten great feedback, and so we've refined the list of seedlings, and we feel like it's a really nice assortment. Well, they're complementary to each other as far as flavors and your typical summer vegetable plate, but they also come in at successive different times. So you'll have some lettuce first, and then that'll be followed by, perhaps the broccoli, and then your peppers and tomatoes, and then potatoes. So it's kind of an a full season of vegetables, and that's what we're trying to provide, is something like that, so that you can garden all year and learn about your favorite ones and what grows best in your backyard. And then we provide a map that's a suggested spacing. That was done by some interns up at Colby Sawyer College, and that's been great. So it's probably a 8 foot by 8 foot space, once you count it all, maybe 10 by 10. If you have a little more space, that works as well. But given those constraints, you could grow quite a few vegetables just in that small area. Just as anybody who's gardened, you learn a lot those first few years, or every year really. We're still learning quite a bit every year, of course. So it's just a nice way to see what grows best. Everybody's garden is their own little microclimate, so certain things will do really well in your garden, and it's nice to find those things out. At Spring Ledge, his main job is to grow the seedlings. So you'll see some footage of just thousands and thousands of seedlings, and this right now it's mid to late April, and we'll be planting those up into the trays to get to the size that we want by end of May, which is when we have volunteers deliver the seedlings. And then Kearsarge Neighborhood Partners their main job is to find all the people who may need these seedling trays, and they use all sorts of contacts. We talk to the food banks, we talk to the senior centers, we talk to the schools, we talk to anybody we can think of, the hospitals, who might know of places or people who are in need of a tray and of seedlings to grow their own food. And you can find out more of that all on several websites. You can go to the Kearsarge Neighborhood Partners website, the Kearsarge Food Hub website, and Spring Ledge website, where you can find links to both donating a tray and receiving a tray. So two separate things. Donating a tray is if you feel like you'd like to help out for $20, it goes towards one of these trays, and Spring Ledge matches that donation plant for plant. And then if you're thinking that you know somebody, or if you're in need of a tray, there's another link to where you can sign up to receive a tray. We really enjoy doing this program. It's a great way for us to be able to grow seedlings for the community and give back in that way. We're all about people growing their own food and gardening. That's one of our main missions, is to get people to plant and to grow gardens. We love it, and we want to share that excitement and that enjoyment with everybody. And if we can get a few people to start gardening and give them some tips so they're successful and they'll try it again next year, that's great for us. In the meantime, having people realize that they can grow their own fresh produce. We know produce is expensive in the stores. If you can grow your own, why not? It's great activity, healthy, and it's great for your mindset, and just a win-win overall, I think. And we've been really enjoying working with these partners, Kearsarge Food Hub and Kearsarge Neighborhood Partners and Kobe Sawyer and the hospital and local food banks and on and on. So, you know, we're growing. We have all these greenhouses already built, and obviously they're here for us to grow plants to then sell through the farm stand to our customers. But we've carved out some room, some space for these plants, for these seedlings in the Tray It Forward program. And we have plenty more seedlings available of all different varieties for those of you who already have a garden, who don't need the help of the Tray It Forward program. And we feel like we've been able to use our experience growing these varieties and growing them out in the field as well to dictate what goes into these trays so that people can be successful at home in this area of New Hampshire with their Tray It Forward trays and in their own gardens as well.
Thanks, Greg, and thank you for your vision and efforts. When we return, we'll hear from Carly Bascom about Nessa's new hiking program. But first, these words from one of the good folks that make our communities the great place they are, the businesses that support us, and the organizations you use and love. Stay with us.
Can I go to the sleepover?
I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, no thanks, not my thing.
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
This program is supported by Main Street Bookends of Warner for books, toys, games, cards, gifts, and a gallery of local art. Main Street Bookends of Warner.
Welcome back. I'm Abby Peel, your Yankee Chronicle host. Last year, we heard about the New England Healing Sports Association's new hiking program. Let's revisit that piece with Carly Bascom, their executive director. Hi, Carly.
I just want to thank you all for coming today to our hiking activation event. We are very excited that Nessa is able to even have a hiking program, and that is definitely in part because of Move United and the Hartford. We were very fortunate enough to receive a $32,000 grant from the Hartford. Adaptive equipment statistically is 7 times more expensive than your standard non-adaptive equipment, which actually bought our 3 Black Diamond Trail Riders. It allowed us to purchase some snowshoes, trekking poles, all kinds of safety equipment, backpacks, you name it. We are now fully equipped to do a year-round hiking program, which is awesome. Hartford!
We have been around since 1956, and we have a network of community organizations like Nessa. So we were thrilled to be able to provide this grant through our partnership, longstanding partnership with the Hartford as part of its Ability Equip program. And this year, Nessa is one of the 10 chapters that was selected to receive this adaptive equipment grant in partnership with the Hartford and Move United. So the Hartford is a leading disability insurance provider, but equally important is they have been an advocate for adaptive sports for over 25 years. And through the partnership with Move United, extending beyond the 25 years, we have been able to provide over closer probably to $3 million in adaptive equipment to, right now, I believe in counting, is 30 organizations. So this is our 4th year, 30 organizations, and amounting to over 3,000 pieces of equipment impacting thousands and thousands of lives across the country. Other programs that have received adaptive equipment are programs that provide skiing. We know skiing is a very expensive sport for adaptive athletes, so we've been fortunate to provide that. Hand cycling is another sport that we know with the right equipment, athletes can do hand cycling, and they can do mountain biking, all sorts of cycling. We also have been fortunate to be able to provide very many sports chairs. So if you think about basketball and how you can integrate athletes with physical disabilities into the sport, you need sports chairs. So those we know can also be really expensive. So we've given out dozens and dozens of adaptive sports chairs. And also track and field is a very, very popular sport, and that's been another sport that we've been able to provide support for adaptive equipment. So community programs like NESA can continue to serve their population and expand the offerings that they have, like with hiking.
I was a real recluse and stayed at home a lot, and this got me out of my comfort zone, and here I am today. Last winter I skied with NESA, and it was quite life-changing. Got me outside to the point where now I'm going to do those things on my own.
NESA has been part of our network for many years, and when they applied, we saw the need. We knew that during COVID, hiking had been one of those sports that you could do safely, and so we wanted to provide them the opportunity to be able to expand that. And in their application, they noted how something like this trail rider would allow access to all abilities to be able to experience the awesome hills and terrain out here. So it was a no-brainer for us. We wanted to support them, and thinking about how each of those costs $10,000 and how community programs like NESA, you know, they're trying to get the programs going, and with the budgets that they have, we knew that this would provide a great opportunity for them to expand their programming in the community. Move United is proud to be able to support our Move United network, over 200 around the country, and through partnerships with the Hartford, we are allowing athletes with disabilities to experience the power of sports and pushing their limits and exploring and achieving their dreams. You can go to our website, moveunitedsport.org, or follow us on social media to see what we're up to. As I said, programs like this are all around the country, and we're able to help facilitate athletes with disabilities and families experience the power of sport.
Thank you, Carly, and thank you to organizations just like NESA. We can all take part in the beauty and activities of the area that we all love and live here for. When we return, we'll hear from Bruce McCloy about an international sailboat race coming to Lake Sunapee this summer. But first, let's visit another community-minded business that supports your Yankee Chronicle.
This program is supported by the Innertown Record, your weekly hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge Sunapee Sunshine region of New Hampshire. The Innertown Record.
Welcome back. I'm Abby Peel, your Yankee Chronicle host, today coming to you from the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce. Bruce McCloy joins us for some exciting news about an event happening on Lake Sunapee this coming summer. Hi, Bruce.
The World Sonar Sailing Championships are going to be held on Lake Sunapee in 2022. They're going to be hosted by the Lake Sunapee Yacht Club and presented by the Lake Sunapee Cruising Fleet. And we're going to have racing. The racing will take place June 16th through the 19th, 2022. And we'll have up to 4 races a day out on Lake Sunapee on the upper end of the lake, basically across from the yacht club. There's a sonar behind me here. It's Lake Effect, skippered by Bill Ames, and I told him I'd give him a plug. And they're 23-foot racing sailboats. They were originally designed in 1980 was when they first came out as a racing class sailboat. So for 40 years they've been a racing class sailboat around the world. And they're totally designed for racing. All the controls are right up in the front of the cockpit, and it's going to be some exciting racing. There'll be some skippers from across the country and possibly around the world coming to Lake Sunapee in 2022. Well, the last time they held the championships, the World Championships, were in 2019 out in western New York on one of the Finger Lakes. So there was no racing in 2020. There's been no racing this summer. So this will be the first race in 3 years. So we're expecting anywhere from 25 to 30 boats to travel to Lake Sunapee for the event. Well, the quality of the sailing, I mean, this is the World Championships. It's a very popular racing class. And I have to mention that Brian Doyle, who skippers Renaissance out of the Lake Sunapee Yacht Club, finished second in 2019 out in New York at the World Championship. So he'll be racing this year along with a bunch of other boats from the Lake Sunapee cruising fleet. We have 8 or 9 sonars in our fleet, and a number of those will be participating in the World Championship. So we'll have a lot of local people racing, plus some renowned skippers from across the country and hopefully around the world coming to race. Well, they're basically up to 4 races a day. The races take anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes. They set basically an up and back course. It's a kind of an international course set that's used for a lot of racing classes. So the boats will hit the starting line. They'll race upwind, downwind, upwind, downwind a number of times on the course, depending on the wind conditions. And then they score the races 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and the cumulative low points for however many races they have. They can have up to 12, 3 a day for 4 days, up to 12 races. They just take the lowest combined score would be the winner of the event. They all start together each race. Okay, well the event's being hosted by the Lake Sunapee Yacht Club, and they have an active racing class of star sailboats, and they race periodically throughout the summer. And it's being presented by the Lake Sunapee cruising fleet. We're basically doing all the work behind the scenes to pull this thing together. And we have 16 boats in our fleet. We have a fleet of sonars, 8 or 9 sonars are in our fleet, and then we have 8 or 9 boats that are totally different. And the sonars race together in one class, and then the other boats race together in another class with handicapping. And we're out there every Wednesday night, 14 nights over the course of the summer. And then we also race, the cruising fleet races several Sundays. We have 2 races on Sundays afternoons. So we have a lot of, the cruising fleet puts on quite a few races during the course of the summer. Some of the skippers on the boats coming into the area may leave a spot open for a local, because they know the lake, and lake sailing is different than ocean sailing. When you're out in the ocean, the wind pretty much blows out of the same direction at the same strength all the time. When you're on a lake, it's a lot different with the mountains around the lake and the topography and the shifting winds, and the Sunapee Harbor can affect the winds coming out from the west. So it's good to have some local knowledge on your boat. So some skippers or crew from boats in our club and the yacht club may be involved on the boats racing. The racing will take place June 16th through the 19th, 2022, and we'll have up to 4 races a day out on Lake Sunapee, on the upper end of the lake, basically across from the yacht club.
Bruce tells us as of today there are currently 21 boats entered in the Casella 2022 Sonar World Championships. They are hoping for about 25 boats. There are 4 local boats racing with the international competitors who are members of the Lake Sunapee Cruising Fleet and the Lake Sunapee Yacht Club. Resonance, skippered by Brian Doyle, Delight, skippered by Betsy Citron, Mumbo Jumbo, skippered by John Chirella, and Veneto, skippered by Terry Fletcher. There will also be an all-female crew on Wife Goes On, skippered by Don Shumway from Rochester, New York Yacht Club. The races have over 40 local businesses and individuals sponsoring the event, for which Lake Sunapee Cruising Fleet and the Lake Sunapee Yacht Club are very appreciative. The MV Sunapee 2, operated by Sunapee Cruises, will be out on the lake during the 4 days of competition as a spectator boat. Tickets will be $15 per person per day. Mark your calendars. Next week, we'll be at NJ Harrington Jewelers, where they have over 70 years of committed crafting the finest quality jewelry for their customers. Meet the longtime owner, community supporter, and now a member of the Sports Hall of Fame at Brattleboro High School, David Lance. And I just want to note we have moved our Yankee Chronicle to local prime time at 7 p.m. in addition to its noon airing on Thursday and Friday. I'm Abby Peel. Join us again next week at this same time for another edition of Yankee Chronicle. Stay safe, everyone.